Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Abe with MysticGenMara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental energy reading for air in the area of love and relationships for October of 2025. These are general readings, so take what works, leave the rest for someone else. And I read intuitively, so messages might come through a little different than the actual meaning on the cards. So, with that, we'll get started. I like to read for the singles first, and then we'll look at the couples, and we look at which chakra is lighting up to get an idea of where you're at and where your energy is kind of focused for this month, and then we'll get some clarity from the tarot. So, Earth or air? Air singles. You are in number 35. I think this is the throat chakra, which is rigidity. So there's this energy of something's not moving the way it's supposed to, or someone's not being flexible. So for air singles, this could be a time to do some self-reflection, see what's going on and what's causing this more stiff energy that's coming up. And we'll double check which chakra this is in a second. But if we're talking throat, this could be a communication where you're maybe not as tapped into your energy as you could be, because air covering the zodiac signs of Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, you're really about communication, which is the throat chakra energy as well. So if that's where we're at, there could be a little bit of communication blockage going on here. So let's take a peek where we are at. Yes, we are in the throat chakra, the Vishuddha chakra, and the image here is the elephant here in the center. And it's one of the most intelligent of animals, which fits for air. When domesticated, it's often decked out with adornments that come with having learned to be obedient and respond to its masters. It loses its own independence that comes with thinking for itself. It thinks and acts as it is told to do, so that it is doing the right thing even when it is not. Traditionally, the elephant is linked with the power of memory, patience, and an intuitive understanding of nature. Very apt description for air. Our keywords here are dogmatism versus flexible thinking, memory, someone coming to terms with difficult issues, searching for the key to understanding the self, learning patience. So, air, singles. There's definitely a period of self-reflection going on. Have you stepped into a position, a role in life, whether it's at work or with your social circle, where you feel you have to put on the airs of, well, this is what people expect of me. This is what others are assuming I should be. You've almost lost your own sense of self because you have this illusion that you've put up. You have this wall of, well, this is what everyone expects, so this is who I have to be. And what this card is really bringing forward is, don't forget who you are. When you look at this card, it's surrounded by Sanskrit letters, and it's also surrounded by a mandala. So you've got this energy of change, things moving, structure, but it's calling to you to look within and find out what's really going on. What is it that is maybe a little out of balance for you, air? It doesn't mean that it's like this huge destructive thing. It could be just a little bit of like an anxiety, like, what am I doing this for? Who is this? Why am I in this situation? But it's calling something forward, saying, don't shy away from this aspect. This is part of who you are, but why is this illusion part so strong? So it's a good call to do some self-reflection. And you have the knowledge, so it's not like you have to stress over it. It's just a matter of maybe taking that knowledge, having an experience with it so you can apply it, which is going to create the wisdom, which was what air thrives on anyway. So, our first tarot card is number 4, the Emperor with Archangel Michael. So this is energy of the Divine Masculine, organization and logic, again, air, structure and discipline, and leadership. So this really describes air to a T, and it's really calling you to use your skills. Air, you're imbued with all of this ability of memory, of knowledge, of wisdom, of solving patterns, looking at the bigger picture, understanding things in a way that is maybe almost foreign to the people around you, because you can cut through the illusions really quickly. And what this energy that's coming in is, now apply that same gift to your own existence, to your own life. Those questions you're having as to like, why am I doing this? Well, why? Look at the patterns, look at the cycles. Sometimes it's just a cyclical pattern or cyclical nature of where you're at, where in the moment, this is what worked. Now you're kind of shifting out of it. That's why you're starting to question it. So be gentle with yourself, but definitely be honest with yourself is the other energy here. We also have the Queen of Fire, which is a little divine feminine energy here. It's confident, warm, intelligent, and graceful. We're pretty much just describing air here. Stretch your wings and fly. Don't underestimate yourself, and assert your independence and creativity. Don't let other people tell you how to live. If you're happy being single, air, go for it. If you want to look for a relationship, go for it. If your friends are like, oh, you're going for that kind of a person, maybe you need different friends, because they're not the ones that are going home with this person. They're not the ones going on the date. That's yours. So don't let other people dictate your relationships either. And that's where it's like, don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence. This is usually pretty easy for air, but there's a little bit of almost confusion coming up here where you have done the inner work and you've done a lot of important work, but now you've shifted into a different plane of spiritual existence. Could be physical. You may have moved towns. You might have moved into a different job position, whichever. But now it's time for you to answer those questions. Is this really where I want to be? Am I doing the right thing? Is this really what I was expecting? And allow yourself to be free in that moment and break the rigidity of, well, I have to because. You don't have to nothing. You only, like, there's a societal things that are recommended, but you still don't even have to do those. There's consequences, but you don't have to. And that's what this is saying is, don't be so rigid that this is the only way to be, that you forget to actually nurture your soul and bring out that creative aspect of who you are, air singles. And in the relationship sense, they're saying this is about you understanding yourself, which opens the door to understanding a partner. And you can't do that through the lens of those people in your life that are like, oh, not that one. Oh, please, no, don't date that person. Oh, wait, you like the same gender as yourself? Ew, don't let them dictate this. This is your life. If you're attracted to that person, go for it. Find out why. You know, you can ask those questions inside and figure out the situation. But there's definitely this energy of, don't let other people put illusions on you. Don't let other people block you up, because that's not going to be beneficial. And we're talking throat chakra energy. This is communication. So this is not about outward communication. And the energy that's coming in here is inward communication. It's the conscious mind communicating with the soul that resides, which sometimes that's easy and sometimes that's not. So, air singles, this is definitely going to be an interesting month because there's a little challenge there that might just make you have to stop and think for a few minutes. And that's not a bad thing. That's actually pretty healthy when those kind of things come up, because air, you're stepping into your authority. You're stepping into your power, where your powers lie, which is the mind, and you're analytical, so you can sort these things out. So yeah, air singles, it's going to be, could be a little bit of a challenge, but I think you're going to enjoy the challenge because you're unraveling a problem and you're solving a problem. So with that, we'll hop over to our air couples. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, comment, let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions. And as I read intuitively, if you intuitively see something different from the card, feel free to drop that down below in the comments. So air couples, this could be for you as the air sign, it could be your partner's air, or you could just have air high up in the charts for both of you. So we are looking at number 7. I believe this is sacral chakra, and it is a challenge, but you also have the elephant imagery going on here. So we're tapping into that intellect, we're tapping into this mind aspect of existence. And so you are in a really healthy spot there, but there's a challenge coming in because you're finding a different balance because you've got the 4 elements surrounding you. So air couples, they're saying that the challenge that you're experiencing right now is making sure that you have time for each other, because you have all these plans and goals and dreams and ambitions, and you both are working so hard towards, like, you're working this direction towards the goal that's over here, It's like you've missed the point. Gotta go this direction. Gotta move back towards the goal. Gotta move back together type of an energy is what I'm getting. But let's take a peek here at the book. And the reason I look in the book is there's a lot of good information that they use. So, oops, I was wrong. It's the first chakra. So they're still in the root here. But this is setting healthy foundations. The elephant and the Airavata, which is the symbol behind it, the yellow square is the symbol for earth. In the center stands the white elephant Airavata, mount of supreme strength and celestial ascendancy. He has 7 trunks corresponding to the 7 chakras. The 4 cardinal points or directions, which are these blood red squares on the edge, are linked with the 4 petals of this lotus. Each lotus square here contains a Sanskrit syllable noting a different state of consciousness: joy, natural pleasures, controlling passion, and blissful concentration. So it's really saying you're setting a strong foundation here, but there's definitely going to be some things to work on. Keywords are defensiveness, worry, complaining, uncertainty, distraction, and distress or conflict. So, air couples, this is a time where you definitely want to be aware of what's going on within the relationship. And I'm not sure what's going on with this particular reading, but they're really wanting to bring forward the outside world, the outside energy, the in-laws, the social groups, whatever. They're not the ones in home. So their opinions really shouldn't matter that much. So whatever's going on there, there's definitely this pushback on work on the relationship. The outside stuff, sort that later. They're not really in control of the relationship. They're extras. Don't get me wrong, you need the social parts, you need the in-laws at times, sometimes, but they're not in control of what's going on in the relationship. That's between you and your partner. So that's where that's a little bit of that challenge, and they're also bringing up, my guides are bringing up, there's this energy that's coming in as you've worked so hard to get where you're at. Like, you've overcome a lot of other challenges, and now there's this, are we ready for the next challenge? Are we ready for the next? And what they're wanting to say before we look at the tarot is, don't worry so much about the next challenge. Your relationship is what's important. If that's intact, that challenge is going to be a cakewalk. It might be a headache in the moment, but the afterwards, you're going to be like, oh, that was actually kind of easy. Because you are working with each other, you're relying on that connection with each other. And that's part of what's coming in here. And it's saying don't get distracted by frivolity, like the frivolous things. The important stuff is what is the value. That doesn't mean you can't have fun. That doesn't mean you can't go out and enjoy yourself. But don't focus on the frivolity. That's not going to feed the soul that you're moving with. Your first tarot card is the Ten of Water, which is a contented and rewarding family life. Your emotional and material needs are met, trustworthy relationships. This is the reassurance that you guys already have done a lot and you've built this. You're in this beautiful connection because you've built where you're at. You know where you're going. You're just a little distracted right now. And that's where you bring everything back together. You work on that spiritual connection to God, Source Divine. And as you each do that, you bond with each other as well. So you're not just building your pillar of light up. Your pillars of light are actually merging with each other. So the two become one in a very spiritual aspect here. So meditating face to face, sometimes sacred sexuality is another way of working with that. And when I say that, I'm talking about actual intimacy where you're connecting with your partner. It's not just, need to relieve some stress. That can be a side note. But when you really bring those type of energies together, you connect differently. It's not about, getting it over with. It's more about enjoying, seeing what wakes up the other person, seeing that light in their eyes. And that can take some time to explore. So you have a whole month. Go for it. Your second card is the Nine of Fire. Don't give up. Protect what you've created. Have courage. Believe in yourself. This is a reminder. You've already done all the work to get to where you're at. Don't slow down now. You're in this space of the Ten of Water is saying, look what you've created. Look what you've created. Whoops, wrong one. And now protect that. Work together to support that. That means the outside stuff, yeah, it plays a role, but it's not in control. make it stay in its lane. It's over there where it needs to be. You are in the core, and that's this energy that's coming up. Air couples, you have this, it's a root energy, so it's setting a new foundation, and it could be that you've been building up and now you've plateaued at a new place, so now you're resetting to a foundation. And in a spiritual sense, you could have achieved waking up all 7 chakras, and now you get to light them up. You woke them up, now turn them on. And so you're going back to that root, which is the bonding of self to earth. It's your self-preservation. But in this aspect, it's the relationships preservation, because the two have become one, and that anchors you together. And that changed a little bit of destiny for both of you, but it changed it in the best way possible. And when you have the 10 of water and the 9 of fire coming in, it's saying, protect what you've built. This is the protector. This is where you may have to step up. You might have to be like, we're not doing Thanksgiving at your house this year. We're doing it together. Thank you for the invite, but stop pushing this. Or it could be something as simple as, you know what? We don't want to go out that night. It's just plain and simple. I'm working, she's working, or he's working. We're just not ready for this. We want to stay at home. We want to have a night at home. We've been doing a lot of extras at works because we're aiming for something big. We just want to kind of chill. And so those are that protecting of what you've built. And what you've built is that contented home, that peace at home. It could be with the munchkins if you've got children. It could be with just your fur pets, like, because those are just as much family as anyone else's. Protect the things you've built, and by saying a simple 2-letter word, no. And sometimes that's going to come over easily, and other times that's going to be a little more hostile, but you're still setting up those boundaries. Remember the healthy boundary part, because you're starting something different. You've moved into a different phase of life, and this is where you get to bring that into a beautiful state. You're already kind of there with the balance going on, but now you get to wake it up, light it up, and really move forward with it. With that, I will let you guys and gals go. Have a great month of October, which it looks like for both air couples and singles. There's a little inner work that needs to come forward right now. I don't feel like it's going to be a rough month in that aspect. It's just that reminder of the outside world can take care of itself, but you're the one that takes care of the inner world. So with that, I will let you guys go. Have a great month of October, and I will see you in the next video.